Okay. All right. Hello. Welcome to Ketchup and Mustard, whatever we're going to call it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just get home?
I got home maybe about an hour ago. I just had to do a few things. But I got off a little earlier today than I thought originally, so that was good.
Busy day?
Yeah, pretty busy. I had a doctor's appointment this morning, and then some errands to run, and then I went to my dad's for a bit, and then I just went straight to work. So I woke up pretty early. I went to bed like 12:30 and woke up at like 5:30 or something. I only got about 5 hours of sleep, and then I just kind of laid in bed trying to get back to sleep. Just kind of rested with my eyes closed, and then I got up at 7:30 or something.
Yeah, sounds like you had a lot of time running around and not a lot of time to relax today.
Yeah, not too much relaxing time, but I can relax now. I got a couple days off.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So how about yourself? What were you?
Today just taking care of stuff I can't get to on work days, like getting some groceries and
just like basic stuff. Yeah,
paying bills,
doing
laundry.
yeah, it's the stuff you can't do on regular work days.
Yeah,
busy day too. So a couple days ago, I was on Wednesday night. I was at the mall again for another day of shooting, and I was script supervisor again. Trying to keep track of all the stuff. We had a couple guys chasing through the mall, and being chased by this kind of security guard guy, and he was ranting and raving and throwing over garbage cans, and I had to keep track of where they were not getting knocked over and make sure they were put back in the same spot. And he was like an erratic, chaotic like mess going through there. So it was like really hard to keep track of all that stuff, but it was very entertaining to watch because he was like, it was pretty intense, and he was like chasing the other guy and swearing at him and throwing like, those yellow pylons that have the water. Wet floor pylons.
Wet floor,
wet floor. So he was throwing them and tripping him up with throwing at his legs and having him trip over it and stuff. So he had to find out where all those things had to be placed back in the same position for the other reverse takes and everything. So it was challenging, but it was pretty fun. It was a fun, exciting, kind of action-filled scene that we're shooting. And what's that?
Did it take a while to film?
It took a while. But we did a number of takes in reverse, so like different angles, looking at different characters in the scene. So we got it from different points of view, one behind them and then some in front of them, so you can cut between them. So you get it from both angles, and then focusing on the different characters and stuff like close-ups and inserts and all that stuff. So it was a pretty intense and pretty involved process, but it was a lot of fun, and we were all kind of running around trying to keep out of view of the cameras. It was as a racing through. I think it was on Steadicam, or maybe it wasn't Steadicam, but it was just handheld. Anyway, the camera was handheld for most of it. So, it was pretty chaotic. But there's we got some good scenes shot in there, and they're ripping like hiring signs off the windows and stuff inside, and so I had to tape them up and unwrinkle them and smooth them out and tape them back on there with a little bit of tape that was still hanging on there. So it was kind of funny. And then later on, because we shot inside the mall from about 6 p.m. to 10:30 or so, and then that's when the store closes at 11. We have to be out by 11 because that's when the alarm is set. Alarm is armed, so we have to be outside by that. We went outside, and we're shooting in the parking lot about a guy that gets hit by a car. So we're kind of racing around the parking lot, and we got a couple of yahoos drove by in their car and they wanted to race with us or something. And we're shooting a movie and they go, "Oh, is it an OnlyFans one?" I'm going, "No, it's not OnlyFans. Shooting a regular movie here." I think they want to be a star performer in our OnlyFans video. So it was a pretty crazy night.
Now, would your job, like, if somebody got, like, say somebody got shot in that movie or something, and would you have to keep track of, like, blood stains and that kind of stuff? Like,
yeah, like where it was hit and stuff like that. I mean, the makeup people do that stuff too, but
yeah,
just an overview, just another point of view, just to see. Yeah, we had a scene where a lot of guy was getting beaten up and a lot of blood was going on his face.
yeah,
But because they're shooting in an area that had a glass door, there's a lot of reflections. So we had to keep everybody out of view so they wouldn't be in the reflections of the thing. Yeah. And so I couldn't really be close and watching the blood to see how it was matching because I didn't want to be in the reflections of the shot. So I had to be around a corner. So I couldn't really view it head on. So yeah, that would have been good to see. Maybe give my opinion on, but yeah, but it was just impossible in that situation. It was a really tight area where the guy runs to the end, he gets chased by a psycho, and then he gets to the doors and he can't get out, so he gets kind of cornered there, and then he gets beaten, the crap beat out of him, and gets a pulp beaten out of his face, and he gets a bloody face. So yeah, right by the glass doors. So that was a bit of a challenge too, trying to shoot it at an angle that you wouldn't see the reflections and stuff like that. So yeah, some of the challenges of filmmaking.
Yeah, a lot of times that's one of the first things you catch in a movie is you see the camera crew reflected in a window or on the side of a car.
Yeah. Well, I was asking the DOP, the camera operator too. I said, if you had a polarizer on your lens, you could turn it to reduce some of the window reflections. You can do that. But he said, "Oh yeah, I could do that, but I don't have a polarized big enough for this lens," because I found out he was shooting anamorphic for the whole movie. So it's an anamorphic, so he likes really wide shots, so everything's really super wide. And so he has an anamorphic lens on there, and he just didn't have a polarizer that would fit on that lens.
Oh.
But yeah, the whole movie is shot anamorphic, which is pretty crazy actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just found that out last Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah. Is John Carpenter a big fan of the wide shots?
Yeah, they're really wide. And they have usually creates like a lens flare in those anamorphic lenses. They have a kind of a signature lens flare, and a lot of those guys, John Carpenter and a few of the other guys like that.
Yeah, J.J. Abrams does that a lot too, the lens flare.
Yeah. But so that was interesting. A lot of crazy stuff, and they shot last night and tonight as well. But I was working, so unfortunately I couldn't be there on set. But they're getting some more stuff. They may come back next week or a couple weeks from now, but I'm not sure. They might have most of their mall stuff done by that time. And then they're going to go back to Victoria and finish up the other stuff they got to shoot.
How much do they have left?
I think they said they've got about 65% done.
Oh wow.
Something like that. I think it's around that amount. So
it's gonna be feature length.
Yeah, like the script was over 136 pages or something.
Wow.
But they said they say it's supposed to be cut down to about 90 minutes, but I don't see how that's gonna be. I have a feeling it'll be over 2 hours, but they're like it was like, I guess they use a lot of like novelistic writing techniques in this, like for description and stuff. So they think that'll narrow it down a bit, maybe. But still, I don't know. It's still like 132 or 136 pages. Yeah. That's an awful lot. So we'll see. There seems to be a lot of stuff happening. Like it's a really jam-packed movie. So I don't know. I guess we'll see how they might cut it in the edit. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was interesting. And the director is really, he keeps his cool under pressure for sure. He keeps calm and cool. He's like, I mean, I guess it wasn't too stressed, but he's like, yeah, he's a good director. I can say he seems to have a good. He's a good person to have at the helm of the movie.
Were there any mishaps when you were there? Like any?
I'm trying to think of any mishaps. Oh yeah, well, when the guy was going crazy chasing him, he was hitting this plexiglass kind of like screen. I guess it's a COVID screen.
Yeah.
On the kiosk.
Oh,
and
yeah.
He hit it so hard that it kind of buckled and kind of didn't break, but it kind of detached itself and was kind of falling into it. So we had to refix that back and make it look better. So we'll see. The person on Mondays are coming to work. You go, what the heck happened here? then they'll see the movie and go, oh, that's the reason why. That's why it looks so wonky, because they're acting like maniacs. But that's just, he was just in character, I guess, and was lashing out.
Yeah. But
yeah, good performances, I think, all around. I was watching the performances and I was getting a big kick out. I had a big grin on my face watching it. So, you know, it's good when you got a smile on your face. It's just something about it's connecting.
Especially when you're there watching it being filmed and not in the theater.
Right.
You must be good.
Yeah, well, on set it's fun because everything's kind of, you see things coming together and the characters interacting, and you're just trying to capture the moment as best you can. Oh,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, have you been watching anything recently, or?
Yeah, I watched a few movies recently.
You watch any more Stranger Things episodes, or?
Yeah, I watched episode 3 last night of season 2.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was
What was that one again?
It's this one was Dustin, mainly about Dustin finding a little creature.
Oh yeah, right.
And he was going to take it to the science teacher, and they stopped him because they didn't want the science teacher to find out about everything that happened, I guess, from in season 1. And 11 kind of snuck out of the cabin and went to the school and was spying on everybody.
Oh yeah.
But this season, maybe because there's more stuff going on, it seems kind of like it's taking its time.
Yeah.
Whereas season 1 seemed to
just barrel along. Yeah.
Yeah. This one seems to be, maybe because it's I think the season's longer too. I think season 1 was 8 episodes.
And
this one might be 9. Yeah. It's been good.
Yeah.
But
well, I think there's a lot more characters too, or at least a few more.
There is.
There's Max and also her brother, right?
Yeah, you got
Billy.
Yep, and then you got Sean Astin's character.
Right,
Bob.
That's right. Yeah. And
then you got Paul Reiser's doctor character. He's in it a lot. Plus, you got all the boys, and then you got Steve and Nancy and all that stuff. And I think it's going to pick up, but it just seems like it's a little all over the place at first. Because it doesn't seem like you know where it's going on too much.
Yeah. Yeah, the first one had a definite kind of arc, a different kind of what do you call it, a trajectory or something.
Yeah.
It had a definite trajectory, and then this one maybe just meanders a bit more because it's not just
it feels
sure of its footing.
Yeah, it feels a little looser. And I guess I read originally the first season was only supposed to be self-contained, and then the next season was going to be a different story altogether. Yeah. Originally it was going to be like season-long anthologies, kind of like American Horror Story.
Yeah.
But since season 1 was so popular, they decided to stick with
and bring
those
the characters back. Yeah.
And after that, I watched this really bad '80s comedy because Sean Astin was in it.
Oh yeah,
With
keeping up
Dudley.
with.
It was like father like son.
Oh yeah.
It starred Dudley Moore and Kirk Cameron. Like,
Oh yeah. I remember
they
back
can-
in those days they had a bunch of switching kind of like parent what do they call it, Parent Trap or or those where they switch the little body switching movies with the kid. They had a bunch of those, like 3 or 4 of them came out around.
Yeah, there was quite a few. That was like some kind of strange fetish in the '80s, like the way they had to. And this one involves like Sean Astin's like crazy uncle, like brings home some kind of Indian potion he found out in the desert that if you inhale it or drink it, it like switches people. So Dudley Moore and his son switch bodies, and it wasn't really funny.
It wasn't funny?
No. The soundtrack was really good. It had a lot of great '80s songs in it. And it looked really '80s. I mean, the hair and the clothes and there's a lot of MTV, but none of the jokes were really funny at all. It was like Dudley Moore just like sat around the house watching MTV all day because you're supposed to be like the teenager, and Kirk Cameron was supposed to be like a brain surgeon.
Oh, jeez.
And then they switched to cat and dog. Like they switched their brains, like the potion as a test. And so for some reason the cat barked and the dog meowed. But when Dudley Moore and Kirk Cameron switched bodies, they still had the same voice.
Oh yeah.
They didn't even try to like change their voices at all.
Right. Well, that was an inconsistency in the story logic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I watched that like low budget shot and video like Canadian film Phobe.
Oh yeah. What was it called? Phobe? Oh yeah, Phobe.
Yeah.
PHOBE, yeah.
I guess it played on TV, like on a local station.
Oh yeah.
Back then in the '90s. It was really interesting, but it was weird because the special effects reminded me of like when the first PlayStation came out. And it had like a lot of those full motion video games.
Right, yeah.
Where they like cheaped out and didn't have any like things, so they just filmed some people and put special effects in there, and it was a video game. It had a lot of those kind of special effects. And the guy's spaceship was like a computer generated version of the Buck Rogers one from the old TV show.
Oh, they had the Starfighters or something, yeah.
Yeah. Which I don't know. It seems like copyright infringement, but I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe the design was so low resolution they didn't have a case.
Yeah.
But yeah, that sounds good. I should maybe check that. You got it on Blu-ray or DVD?
DVD. I'm not sure if there's a Blu-ray.
Oh yeah.
The company.
Who is it released by?
Intervision, I think it's called.
Oh,
they release a lot of shot and video movies, like from the '80s and '90s. That seems to be like their thing. Because I bought another movie from them called Sledgehammer, which was like the first shot and video horror movie. And that was only on DVD too. So I'm not sure if they release on Blue or not.
Yeah. Well, those are two interesting. Have you written up reviews for them already?
No, not yet.
No.
And I watched a Dolph Lundgren movie too.
Yeah.
Called Agent Red, where he plays like this. I think he's like some kind of special forces guy, and he has to guard this virus that the Russians want.
Has to guard a virus, yeah.
On a submarine.
Oh yeah. And
it turns into like a Die Hard type of thing with like these Russian terrorists taking over the sub.
Oh yeah, that sounds interesting.
But the sub is, well, you can tell they just filmed the interiors like at a factory, because it's the first sub I've ever seen with concrete walls. I'm pretty
You
sure
don't think
submarines don't have
you,
concrete walls.
you think they'd sink and never come back up if they had concrete?
Yeah.
Or, yeah. All I remember from Dolph Lundgren's back in the 80s was a Red Scorpion, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Was in that one? I remember this VHS cover for that one.
Yeah. That was
maybe the 90s, early 90s.
I think it was maybe late 80s. But it was, I know it was directed by the guy that directed Friday the 13th Part 4, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And Tom Savini did the special effects on it.
Oh yeah.
And it was a pretty good movie from what I remember, Red Scorpion.
Yeah. It sounds like it was. I remember it being kind of, I don't know if it was a big budget for the kind of, for the time or for Dolph Lundgren movie, but it seemed like it got. I remember seeing it around, like being kind of advertised quite a bit somewhere. Maybe maybe those VHS kind of like catalogs that I saw.
Oh yeah,
like a big full page ad there or something.
Yeah, I remember those things where there was like, it was like before the internet. There was the only way to know what was coming out really on.
Yeah, it'd come out every month, and then you'd see the because I used to work in a record store, which it wasn't just records, it was CDs, it was, I think it was books later on too even, but they had the VHS section, they had laser discs too they were selling.
Oh yeah.
This is all sell through, so we would wait. I think it was they had a window. At first the movie was in the theater, then like 6 months later they'd come out on video. And the prices back then were like $99 for because they were rental prices for the rental stores. They would buy them at high prices and rent them out for $3 a night or whatever. But they had to pay like $99 for each copy. And then six months after that, they'd go to sell through price, which is like $19.99, $20. And that's when we'd get them. But sometimes people would come in and want to buy them. I go, well, we could order one in for you, but it's like $100. They go, $100. You go, because it's only 6 months after release. Yeah, you got to wait another 6 months, and then they'll be cheaper. Yeah. So, but now the windows are so short. I know that Top Gun's still in theaters, but it's already out on Blu-ray. I've seen it. I think it came out a few weeks ago.
I see the new Jurassic Park is too.
Jurassic Park is out, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Top Gun, that's been doing really good on friggin' in the theater.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I really want to see it.
Yeah, I think they said that was number 3. I guess Bullet Train was number 1.
Mm-hmm.
And that Rock movie where he plays Superman's dog is, I think, number 2.
What? Superman's dog?
Yeah, there's an animated movie out with The Rock as the voice of Superman's dog.
Hmm.
It's like League of Super Pets.
Oh yeah, I think I've heard of that one.
Yeah. I remember those old days of you go in the video store,
mm-hmm.
and they'd have the catalog of the upcoming movies. They would give you, and I remember also when video stores first opened, you could like rent the player if you didn't have a VHS player.
Yeah, VCR.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much was it? Like $5 a night or something?
I think so. Yeah.
And the movies are like $3 or something.
Yeah.
For new releases, I think, and then older ones are cheaper.
Yeah.
Or you can get 3 for $5 or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are the days. It was fun going to those video stores. I mean, going through and trying to track down the old movies or cult movies, or whatever.
Yeah. You discover a lot of movies that way.
Yeah. But I remember I was really picky, so I saw lots of horror movies. Just the covers looked intriguing, but I never had enough to kind of get me to rent them or something. I didn't see that many.
I not enough to entice you to want to rent them.
Right. I was very picky. I think I would look at them and see if I'd ever read about them, any reviews in Fangoria or some magazine or something. See if they mentioned it and how good it was. So
yeah, I used to do that too. They had the video section in Fangoria,
mm-hmm.
and I used to go by that too, if I'd heard of them or not.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I
why
remember
like
what's that?
that's why like it was like why one of the reasons I got Fangoria is what was coming out.
Right. Yes. I love movie magazines, going to get those movie magazines, or even movie zines, like the zine scene in the 90s, the early 90s. They're like, you could get reviews of kind of more obscure stuff, and they had cult movies. And I loved picking those up from the comic book store or something like that, or magazine store.
Yeah.
Um,
like Asian cult cinema and
I remember getting those, and
Cinema Fantastique.
Yeah, there's lots. There's quite a few I used to go in there. Do you have any movie magazines here? I remember I got big into Full Moon. I got kind of hooked on that Charlie Spradling, I guess.
Mainly,
and then I just would watch the video zones, and then I would just rent all the movies. They got you kind of hooked, or did you get interested in the kind of behind the scenes of the movies, and you kind of got to know the characters and everything. So you'd watch all the sequels, which are usually pretty lame, but sometimes the first original or couple were pretty good, and then they kind of go downhill from there. Yeah, but I like the Puppet Masters, and I mean the first couple were good. Yeah, and
they kind of did go downhill after a while. The Puppet Master.
Yeah.
And she used to be on all the video zones for a while, and then kind of just faded away.
Yeah, she was like their kind of hostess girl that would be on the.
And she used to be like their T-shirt model too, like
right. Yeah. Full Moon T-shirt, remember that? Yeah.
Then Full Moon had some movies too that they think they wanted to make into franchises and like never took off, like Seed People and stuff like that.
Who would have thunk that Seed People never made it into a franchise? with a title like that. Yeah. Can you imagine it? Seeds aren't exciting enough. People aren't exciting enough. Yeah. They're Seed People. Seeds are exciting. Whenever I think of seeds, I get excited.
And they had the subspecies movies.
Yeah, subspecies were interesting.
Which they tried. Couple. Yeah, they tried to have the little creature things with that, and then that kind of petered out, and they just focused on the vampires instead of having the little creatures too.
Yeah. Were they stop motion creatures or just?
I think so. At least in the first one.
Yeah, that can be pretty expensive and time consuming to make something like that.
Yeah. They had Dr. Mordred, which was
that Jeffrey Combs?
Yeah, it was kind of like their version of Doctor Strange. It was good. It was good.
Was that one with the battling skeletons in the museum? Yep. Is that the one?
Yep, the stop motion skeletons.
Yeah.
And Brian Thompson was like the evil magician in it.
Yeah. I could see them squaring off pretty good.
Yeah. And they wanted more of those, but it just never caught on. And they had the Transfers movies.
Yeah, I might have seen one of the Transfers. I wanted to see them. I never knew which one I should. I know Jack Death. Who's that? Tim Thomerson, was that the guy?
Yeah. And Helen Hunt was like in the first couple, and then after she got popular, then he was gone. But after the third one, they kind of went downhill. Jack ended up in this like fantasy world, and for like 4 and 5, I think it was.
Oh yeah.
Like a medieval fantasy world.
Kind of getting out of the neo-noir cyberpunk, whatever the things were.
It wasn't as interesting. Like once he got stuck in this like alternate reality fantasy world type thing.
Yeah. Sounds like running out of ideas or something.
Yeah. And
jump the shark.
Yeah. They had Doll Man.
Yeah.
Doll Man versus Demonic Toys.
Yeah, and they used to have heavy metal soundtracks, like bands that would play on the album.
Yeah.
Play the theme or something like that.
Yeah, like Blue Oyster Cult and
right. A few of them I remember. They play. May have a band playing in the actual video, like a music video inside the film or something.
Yeah, I think in that Bad Channels movie they did.
Yeah.
Because it was about a radio station.
Oh yeah.
And there was like a alien that was abducting women and shrinking them down.
And
I
putting
think
them in
Charlie
test tubes or
Spradlin.
something.
Yeah, I think Charlie Spradlin was in that one as like a
Yeah.
waitress or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of the shrunk girls showed up in Doll Man versus Demonic Toys. So
Yeah, they started trying to do crossovers back then, trying to get all the franchises to like cross pollinate with each other and kind of
yeah,
do
way
these
before
Marvel.
Way before Marvel.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well, you're just mentioning something like the demonic toys or something.
Yeah, they had that Doll Man Demonic Toys crossover, and then they kind of shoehorned a girl from Bad Channels in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember they had that movie called there was a movie called Mandroid.
Oh, Mandroid, yeah.
They had kind of their own like whole universe back then.
Mm-hmm.
Full Moon. It kind of reminded me of the old Universal movies. Maybe what that is
Yeah.
what they're trying for.
That was their kind of influence.
Yeah. I watched an interesting video the other day on YouTube that was just about the whole MonsterVerse with Godzilla.
Oh yeah.
And whether there's some question whether they're going to do any more or not. Mm-hmm. I guess the Godzilla versus King Kong was a pretty big hit.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess they only had the license for so many years.
Oh yeah.
From Touhou. But something I didn't know is the one that kind of started the ball rolling on that whole thing was the director of Godzilla versus the Smog Monster.
Oh yeah.
Because after they finished the Millennium movies, there was no plans for Godzilla, and he kind of wanted to do like some more Godzilla movies since he kind of got kicked out of the whole thing after Smog Monster came out. So I guess he started that, and then the movies.
What did he start?
He got the rights to them, and he was kind of shopping them around. He wanted to do a more environmentally based Godzilla story.
Mm-hmm.
And he was shopping the rights around and having trouble. So finally, like Legendary Studios kind of got involved, and they picked up the rights, and that's how the whole MonsterVerse started.
Interesting. Kind of weird. I know Touhou is very protective of their IP, their intellectual property, and they're very restrictive. They don't really. I remember one time reading that Steven Soderbergh wanted to do a remake of Attack of the Mushroom People, or a Matango.
Really?
The Japanese title. I guess he watched it. He watched it and thought he could do a really cool modern remake of it.
Really?
But Touhou, their asking price for the rights were just too high.
Wow.
I guess he wanted to do it kind of low budget and kind of just do it kind of maybe, I don't know, cinema verite. I'm not sure, but just do it in kind of his style. But Touhou wouldn't let him do it because they're asking too much money for the rights. I know they're very protective of their rights. So I mean, I remember writing to Touhou years ago, trying to get information, and they just wouldn't really give any information out. They're just very protective.
I guess all the like monster designs and any script things had to pass through them. Yeah. As far as the movies went, they had to write off on everything. Okay.
You had to sign off and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially after that Roland Emmerich Godzilla movie. I guess they're actually even more protective now.
Mm-hmm.
But you can kind of see the environmental thing still in there because but I guess he died before the whole thing really got going. But I think he's got the honorary producer credit on the 2014 Godzilla. But his idea was like his originally film idea he wanted to do was like Godzilla would fight like a monster that was like 3 different stages. Like
Oh yeah,
it would
like
start
a larval stage and something else.
yeah, it started off like as a fungus like mushroom thing,
Oh yeah,
then turned into like a swarm of creatures that would form into one big monster, I guess.
oh yeah.
And I guess Godzilla would have his flying ability back,
He,
where he breathed fire and fly.
yeah, crazy. Yeah, I remember that. Well, it's kind of weird because the Shin Godzilla kind of
Yeah,
has stages that Godzilla himself goes through.
yeah,
He has like I never saw it, but I remember
yeah. He's
seeing
got a few
pictures of that.
different forms.
Yeah, he goes like 3 different forms. Like he's got about 3 different stages he goes through.
Yeah,
So I wonder if that kind of got translated to that
yeah.
idea.
That's a good thought. I wonder if it did, if it got kind of folded into that.
Hmm.
I also watched a retrospective of all the Predator movies.
Oh yeah.
And I guess originally Predator 2, they kind of first they wanted Arnold back,
Hmm.
set it in the city. And I guess his asking price was a bit much, and they didn't want to
Hmm.
pay that much. So then he was kind of going to be like a cameo.
Hmm.
He was going to kind of come in like the Gary Busey
Right.
character did, and be like with this team hunting the Predator, and he didn't care for that either. He wanted quite a bit of money, so they kind of wrote him out and just focused on Danny Glover's character.
Hmm. Was there anybody else that's supposed to be in there? I thought there was rumors that someone else was supposed to maybe play it, but I can't remember who it was.
Well, originally Danny Glover was like the third or fourth pick. I
Right.
think Steven Seagal was one of the people they
Oh,
wanted to play the cop.
right.
There was somebody else too, a bigger actor at the time. I forgot who they said, but the one I remember was Steven Seagal.
Hmm.
And they couldn't get like any of them, so they ended up with Danny Glover.
Hmm. Which is, yeah, I think he's a great choice, but I
Yeah,
guess not your typical kind of action hero for that kind of thing.
yeah. The retrospective I watched said he was like, the guy said he was actually one of their, besides Prey, like the main
Hmm.
character in Prey. They said he was like one of their favorite characters in the Predator franchise because his character actually changes through the movie. Like
Oh yeah,
he goes on more of an arc, whereas Arnold was kind of
static.
Arnold to me.
Yeah.
And they said that like I guess Robert Rodriguez had been shipping around a Predator script for quite some time. His
Hmm.
original idea was like to have Dutch like taken to a planet of predators where they'd hunt them, and that kind of got turned into that Predators movie.
Yeah. I never did see it, but I've only seen, I think, Predator 1, 2, and then Prey,
Yeah.
and then the Alien versus Predator, the first
Oh
one.
yeah. Yeah, those are those aren't that good.
But I heard that the Dark Horse comics, the Predator comics, are pretty good.
Yeah, I guess it's weird because I guess this video I watched, they mentioned that the Dark Horse Comics did an issue or a miniseries about that pistol from Predator
Oh yeah.
2. So
Hmm.
I don't know if Prey like retcons that at all, or if it ties in at all or not.
Right. Yeah, I never read that comic, so I'm not sure how it relates, but I know that it was in Prey a bit near the
And,
end or near the yeah.
and I don't know if they said it's kind of a shame though that it didn't get a theatrical release.
Yeah, I could see it doing quite well in theaters. And kind of, I mean, it was the biggest HBO. What is it? HBO Max?
That or Hulu, I
Oh
forget
yeah, I think it
which.
was Hulu. Yeah, I think it was Hulu.
Hulu.
Yeah, it was Hulu, but I think there was their biggest opening on Hulu ever. But I mean, I guess that's good
Yeah,
for their subscribers.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, it could have done pretty good on the theatrical release too. I think.
I wonder now if they're gonna like if it's gonna be a spin-off series or if they're gonna just do other movies like
Yeah.
standalone movies or if they're just gonna continue
Mhm.
with those characters.
Maybe I heard that the samurai one with Hiroyuki Sanada. So now
Yeah,
it went viral. So maybe it seems like everybody wants to see that version with the
yeah,
feudal Japan one. So it'd
yeah,
be interesting to see if they ever do actually go forward and get a script written for that with that premise.
yeah. And something I didn't know that from watching that video is since Disney bought like 20th Century Fox, now there's going to be Marvel Comics with both the Alien and the Predator now, and
Oh yeah,
so there's probably going to be inevitable crossovers with
right.
like Spider-Man and Captain America and stuff.
Oh wow, crazy. That might dilute the mythology a
Yeah,
bit too much. I don't know.
yeah, that's what they were saying in the video I watched at the because they mentioned that they had the Batman versus Predator comic from
Mhm.
back in the '90s, and they said that was good, but then like they
That
started
was good.
doing
Was it pretty good?
yeah, and then they
Mhm.
said after that they kind of everybody started doing a Predator comic, and it kind of just like you
Yeah.
said, it diluted the whole thing, and they
Hmm.
had like Superman versus aliens and stuff like
Right.
that.
Yeah. I can see it getting a little bit too much. You got to kind of be somewhat protective. Maybe not as
Yeah,
much as Touhou Godzilla, but
yeah,
or the mushroom people, but I don't know. How has mushroom people versus seed people? I want to see that
oh
movie.
yeah,
Toho and Charles Band together, full moon.
yeah, and yeah, they could even Asylum had a movie called Pod People that was kind of a rip off of Invasion of the Body
Right.
Snatchers. They could throw them in there too.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be a good one. We got a new franchise in the works.
Yeah,
New crossover series.
I wonder if Charles Band would bring back Seed People if somebody wrote up a pretty good idea to bring them back and
Oh, maybe.
submitted it to him.
Yeah, he's like. I don't think he's up to. He wouldn't be pass up a good idea probably.
Yeah.
Did you ever read that book I don't know if he wrote it, but it was about Charles. It was about Full Moon and Charles Band.
Oh
I forget what it
no.
was. There was a book that came out. I should maybe just check it quick. I remember getting. I think I got it, but I haven't read it yet.
Yeah. I know that he's kind of infamous for not paying his talent there.
Right. Yeah, I think it was called Confessions of a Puppet Master, a Hollywood memoir of ghouls, guts, and gonzo filmmaking. I think he wrote. I think he wrote it with Adam Felber,
Yeah.
but it's basically about Charles Band's life, I guess,
Hmm.
as a film producer.
I guess his son is in a band, from what I've heard.
I know his brother is, or
Or his brother?
his brother is a soundtrack composer.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think so.
yeah,
So I don't know. Maybe his son is in the band too. But
yeah,
yeah, his brother's Richard Band, and I think he's done some of the soundtracks to his films, maybe some other ones as well.
yeah, yeah. He's done quite a bit of soundtracks, I think.
Hmm.
I know for a while, Charles Band, he kind of had like spin-offs from Full Moon. I think he had maybe like a adult film spin-off, like softcore films, and then he had a children's kind of film
Yeah,
thing
remember he had
too.
one Prehysteria. I never saw that.
Yeah,
Remember that one with all like the pterodactyl
yeah,
and yeah, he was kind of branching out, trying to see whatever stuff. But I don't know. Didn't he? He started with Empire, didn't he? Way back when
yeah. And then
was that his father's? His father was
um,
Albert Band.
I think might have been both of them, and then it kind
Yeah.
of, and it was I
There's
maybe it
like
was
you got a
good.
bit of buzzing on your end. You know what that might be coming from? I hear
No,
like
I don't.
buzzing. I hear buzzing. I think it's coming from yours. Every so often it comes up.
Oh, maybe it's the headphones.
Maybe, maybe the battery's dying. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be.
I don't hear it now, but every once in a
Yeah.
while
Hmm.
yeah. But yeah, Charles. I mean, yeah. So maybe Albert Band and Charles Band did Empire. I don't
Yeah.
really know
Then
that. I don't. I know they had a few movies in the '80s.
Yeah, and I know I think they
Empire
went
Pictures.
bankrupt.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's Empire International Pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah, key people, Charles Band and Albert Band. Yeah, so it must have been the two of them. Charles Band formed Empire in 1883. And they did ReAnimator, Troll, Ghoulies, Transfers, and From Beyond. So those are all pretty decent movies, or most of them pretty good.
I think there were some of the two that didn't get released right away either, and then kind of got released later on. Did they do that Dungeon Master movie?
Yeah, they did. The Dungeon Master, 84.
Yeah.
There's a list. Yeah, they actually did quite a few. And then I guess they kind of I guess later on they transformed into Full Moon, but yeah, they have quite a few that I've heard about. Quite a few. Looks like its range, it started in 83, went all the way up to 91.
Oh wow. And yeah, I think he started Full Moon with Paramount because I think they were on the Paramount label, and then he kind of went off on his own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks like he formed a new company, Full Moon Entertainment, in the autumn of 1988.
Puppet Master, I think that was his first Full Moon movie?
I think it's Full Moon. I'm not sure, but I think so. Yeah. Yeah. I guess Empire Pictures was based in Rome, maybe.
Oh, Rome.
In Italy, because they had a bunch of Italian-based movies.
Yeah.
And then Full Moon, they moved back to the States, and then they teamed with Paramount, Pioneer Home Entertainment for what was it? What does it say? Yeah, anyway, they did, Puppet Master transferred Subspecies and Castle Freak and a few of them.
Oh, yeah, Castle Freak. I remember that. I think there was a remake of that recently.
Yeah, there was, I think. I never saw them, but yeah. Who's that Yunza? Was that?
Yeah, I think so.
Brian
I think
Yunza.
it was. And I know they did that Pit and the Pendulum movie for Full Moon, too.
Yeah.
I think that might have been filmed like maybe, I'm not sure if it was Charles Band or Stuart Gordon. One of them had a castle.
I think. Yeah, it was directed by Stuart Gordon, the Pit and the Pendulum. Yeah. Crazy. Anyway, I have to.
Full Moon has had so many movies by now. It's hard to keep track of them all.
Yeah. I guess.
I mean, now he does like weird stuff now, like Corona Zombies and stuff like that. It's like just weird, like quick cash-in movies.
Yeah, nothing like the old school where they have at least interesting ideas or kind of like some artistry to it.
Yeah. That Puppet Master movie was good though. That was
the last one?
Yeah, was it the one, was it written by the guy that did Bone Tomahawk? I can't remember.
Oh yeah, maybe The Littlest Reich?
Yeah.
I think it was released in 2018.
Yeah. That one was really good.
I never saw that one actually, but and it might have been directed by who's that? I can't remember who did Bone Tomahawk. I think it was.
Yeah. I think he wrote it. I'm not sure.
Right. I think he was. Yeah.
I know somebody like kind of famous wrote it, but I can't remember who it was.
Craig Zoller.
Yeah.
Zoller, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. S. Craig Zoller. Yeah, he's done a few. He's done a few kind of crazy movies. He also did Brawl in the Cell Block 99 and Dragged Across Concrete.
Yeah. Yeah, that Brawl in Cell Block 99, that was a crazy movie. I saw that.
Mm-hmm. And who is in that one?
Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn, yeah. I can see him as a criminal guy, yeah.
It's kind of weird because like there's a lot of violence in it, and it's very like filmed in a very like 70s exploitation kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of gore and like really brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Like Vince Vaughn stomping people's head into the ground and stuff, and
mm-hmm.
and breaking people's jaws and stuff with a lot of gore effects and.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, no, there's quite a bit of gore and quite a bit of same with Bone Tomahawk, pretty gory.
Yeah. Yeah, I still have to see that Bone Tomahawk.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was an Empire box set at one point, maybe Blu-ray.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure what was in it though. But I swear
it was a Blu-ray box set.
I think it was Blu-ray.
I missed checking out to see if any. Empire's Pictures Collection.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah, it was put up by Full Moon exclusive, limited to 600 copies or 17 films. It looks like them. What was it? Oh yeah, I think the movies in it were Ghost Town, Prison, Terrorvision, The Video Dead, Robot Jocks, Dolls, Troll, Troll and Troll 2, From Beyond, Crawl Space, Trancers, Metal Storm, The Destruction of Jared Sin in 3D, Ghoulies 1 and Ghoulies 2, Cellar Dweller, Catacombs, The Dungeon Master, Eliminators, and Arena, I think.
It's weird. I have a lot.
You have a lot of those already?
Quite a few of them.
Yeah.
In different sets.
Yeah, well, I'd love to get From Beyond. I want to get that one.
Yeah, I unfortunately my DVD of that is like ages old. I think Shout Factory did a Blu-ray.
Oh yeah, I think so.
But yeah, that's like one of the best ones. I actually like that better than ReAnimator.
Yeah, it's on par. Yeah, maybe a little bit more entertaining, maybe.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the ReAnimator sequels?
No, I actually I bought them, but I haven't watched the sequels yet.
Yeah.
I've just seen. I saw the original. I saw it on VHS originally, but I saw ReAnimator in a theater with the cast. At the I think it was the 2015 something like that, 2015 Calgary Horror Convention.
Oh wow!
Or in because I was showing my movie Adrift there in the short festival.
Oh, cool.
The short that Adrift was showing there, and then I got to see Jeffrey Combs was there, Barbara Crampton, and Stuart Gordon was there.
Oh, cool.
And I think most of the people from the cast were there. They had the other doctor.
Yeah.
The young doctor, I forget his name.
Yeah.
And they had a few other people there, but they were all there, and we saw the movie. Then they went out to a nightclub, like a bar or nightclub afterwards. And I got to go, and I was just standing around, and I saw Barbara Crampton there, and I was going to talk to her, but I didn't know what to say. So, but it looked like I creeped her out because I was just standing there, kind of staring, not knowing what to say, and she was like looking at me, moved away. I don't blame her. I just
we're a little starstruck.
Yeah, kind of funny.
I've heard Jeffrey Combs is a really nice guy when you meet him.
Yeah, he's nice. he was talking. Yeah, it was.
No, they're both in that
Yeah, that
movie
new
that
that I kickstart that I yeah. So the what do you call it? I donated to the Kickstarter. It's called
yeah
on. It's called Onyx, the Fortuitous, and the Talisman of Souls.
yeah
And I think Jeffrey Combs plays the bad guy, the villain.
yeah
Uh, what's the villain's name? Bartok, I think. He owns him.
Bartok.
Yeah, he's like a satanic person, and he lives in this big mansion, and he invites all these people to go and visit him, and bad things happen. But I think Barbara Crampton might play. I'm not sure what role she plays, but I think she might play Onyx's mother, maybe. I was trying to think of who else it would be. I don't know. But
is he still looking for distribution on that?
Yeah, I think they're trying to get into some festivals. I think they tried to get into Fantastic Fest.
Yeah,
but they didn't get in. I think they've applied to 2 festivals so far and didn't get into either of them. The other one might have been South by Southwest. I'm not sure. But they didn't have a finished movie. They just had temp tracks and the effects were unfinished. So it was just like a work in progress. And now they got a few more months. They're going to try to get it looking really good and then submit to a couple more festivals in the fall.
Yeah.
Because
you think a movie with Jeffrey Combs and Barbara Crampton, you know.
Yeah. You think of Fantastic Fest, they want to see that one. I don't know. Seems weird.
But like you said, maybe because it's unfinished.
Yeah, but also maybe they didn't connect with the character of Onyx, because Onyx is because he's kind of like the heart and soul of the movie. So if you don't connect to him, like I got to know him through like viral videos that were on YouTube that I kind of got.
Yeah,
he would do long rants, like really theatrical, like long rehearsed rants.
Yeah,
that were pretty funny. And so I thought this is an interesting character. And then I found out they're making a movie about it. So I thought, donate some money.
Yeah.
And I suppose they're getting a Blu-ray and a slime green VHS.
Oh, really?
of the movie when it's done. So that'll be like a collector's item, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe. If it gets bought. It's really a cult film, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Kind of like, what was it? Psycho Gorman?
Yeah, Psycho Gorman, yeah.
And yeah, I know you watch the what does he do a weekly show? Is it the director?
Yeah, he does like a weekly just a kind of like a live stream where he discusses the film and what they're working on. Actually, tonight I watched, before I came on this podcast, he was with the sound designer and they're just going over some of the sound design. They did a live stream for a couple hours.
Oh.
And just like showing behind the scenes of how the movie's put together.
Yeah.
So he was just talking to a sound designer and they play clips. You can just hear the sound from the movie and stuff.
Oh, cool.
And he's adding sound design. So I think it's up on YouTube now.
Yeah.
Andrew Bowser's the director's name.
Yeah. And he usually co-hosts what is the actress from the film?
Olivia Taylor Dudley is one of his best friends, and she's like an actress in the movie. She plays Farah, the kind of what is she? A succubus, I think.
Yeah, that'd be. I hope that does get released, because everything I've heard about it so far, it sounds like it'd be really fun.
Yeah, I think it's pretty funny. I think you'd get a kick out. I know I like the character, so
yeah,
it's definitely a crazy kind of neurotic character, so it should be kind of fun. And he's a very entertaining guy. I know it should be entertaining at least. So yeah. Hopefully you can get a chance to see it, because I'll have my Blu-ray, but I guess I don't know how else it'll be released. If we'll see.
Yeah. Maybe if somebody picks it up for a wider distribution or something.
Yeah, it might go on Shudder or who knows what.
Yeah, Tubi, something like that.
Yeah.
Because there seems to be like a lot of like independent horror movies on the streaming service.
Yeah, this one's definitely a comedy horror. It's supposed to be in
Yeah.
the style of Gremlins and
Oh, really?
Ghostbusters and Gremlins, Ghostbusters. What else are things they? I'm playing other things in that realm.
Yeah, Ghoul.
Fright Night, stuff like
Oh,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
Fright Night.
Ghoulies. Yeah, just those kind of horror comedy things
Yeah.
of the a lot of
Um,
a lot
Night of the
of
Creeps.
yeah. So a lot of even Spookies a bit, that movie that
Oh,
you saw.
yeah. Yeah, Spookies.
But it has a lot. I think it has a lot of influence from who's those characters? Who did Matinee? That movie Matinee.
Oh, Joe Dante.
Yeah, it has a bit of Joe Dante influence,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, Gremlins and
yeah,
Gremlins 2.
yeah, Joe Dante and also Robert Zemeckis a little bit, I think.
Oh, yeah. Like Roger Rabbit and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, that whole creature thing on Stranger Things reminds me of those 80s movies too.
Mm-hmm.
Like where the kid would find some kind of little monster or something and
Yeah, takes it home
kind
and
of
tries to make
become
a pet out
friends.
of it.
Yeah.
Kind of like The Gate, kind of almost like that
Oh,
a bit.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that had little creatures in it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a big 80s thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if ET caused that or what.
Yeah,
what
I'm sure it did. I'm sure that was the main impetus for that.
yeah. Because they had plenty of rip-offs of ET like Mac
Yeah.
and Me and
What was that word from South Africa? What was that South Africa one?
Was it Pod People?
No, it
Or
was
Pod
called.
I forget what it was called. I know what you're talking about though.
Yeah.
It wasn't that Nuki movie, was it? No.
Yeah, it might have been Nuki. I think it might have been Nuki. I'm thinking of yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I think we came to another end of another podcast. We're running out of time again. So that was good. We got another hour, I guess. So
yeah, that was fun.
I gotta finish editing them and put them together. I'm getting a bit of a backlog. This is like our third one, I think. So
yeah, it is.
So I gotta get them out there. But we gotta get like a YouTube channel, a dedicated YouTube channel to put them up on.
Yeah.
So we'll have to figure that out.
I have a YouTube channel with nothing on
it. Yeah, we could do that. Or I don't know if I have access to it, but I could upload it to it possibly.
Yeah, we'll have to see what we can work out.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, I'm just gonna stop this. Podcast. Okay, see you next week.
Okay, see ya.
Here, we're stop here.